it facilitates enormously the contact with owners and executives of the companies which we are approaching in the origination stage of the private equity cycle. So it's much easier to talk to them. We have some common grounds in terms of experience, how to manage companies, and it makes the initial talks very much, it's much easier and fluent. At a later stage, when we are at final negotiation stage also, the fact that we are not financiers or investment bankers and actually former presidents or former chief executive of some companies, it facilitates also a gain. And obviously, when we do the investment at monitoring stage, and the monitoring stage of an investee firm might take 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 years, it facilitates enormously because we are close to the management, helping them not only with the strategy, but we are sounding board for decision making, for the hiring of consultants, for changing reports and things of that nature. Well, over the past 15 years, since we started our first fund back in 1997, there's been a revolution. When we started, nobody knew what was private equity. We had to manage seminars to teach them what is private equity all about. And but today, it's completely different. There is a full awareness all over Brazil, not only in São Paulo or Rio, but all over the country, about the impact of private equity, the importance of private equity, and also the knowledge that the private equity brings not only capital, but strategy, modernization, and a definite contribution to company growth. We have a sort of a strategic approach toward looking for companies, looking for targets. We mapped the large industries in Brazil, all the industries and their segments, to find out where there are shortcomings or where there are bottlenecks in Brazil, either in terms of investment or market potential, so forth and so on. And then, using this strategic matrix as a base, we select certain industries and we do in-depth research on those industries. And in each industry we investigate, we select some firms, not at random, but we do a nice study on them before we approach those companies. We try usually to do proprietary approaches toward those companies. We seldom use auction or types of situation. We participate in some auctions, but usually we believe more on strategic sourcing of companies, of targets, rather than opportunistic deals. We've been doing this for 15 years with relative success. Yes, actually, we sourced this company out of an original basic analysis of the healthcare industry in Brazil. One of the target industries we identified at early stages was that healthcare in Brazil offered a number of opportunities. At the time we identified this company, named as Odontoprev, there were about 40 million Brazils with private healthcare plans, but there were no dental care plans, very few of them. And while in America, 70% of the families who have a healthcare plan do own a dental care plan. We did not have that in Brazil. The other thing is that we have a public healthcare system called SUS, which is more or less equivalent to your Medicare, which offers healthcare but doesn't offer dental care either. So there was a huge vacuum, and we immediately realized that. We looked into the market. There were a few. There are actually a couple of hundred very small niche companies. Usually wife and husband were dentists, and they put up a very small plan. So we looked into this opportunity. We did identify a company, it was small, had 90,000 lives only, but had a very good IT platform. We created a very good relationship with the owners, and we decided to invest in it. The investment was originally aimed at two things. First, enlarge and improve the IT platform. IT is absolutely critical in the management of such companies, especially to allow good operational control, good financial control, and to avoid frauds. So this was the first part of our investment. The second part of our investment was used in doing what we believed very much was a strategy of consolidation. We acquired 4 more companies, small companies, and at the end, we had created a sort of a good basis to have only internal growth, to have to grow from our basis. So when we started the company, when we made our investment, we had 90,000 lives. By the time we went to the IPO, we had close to 2 million lives. So it was a very good success. We had continuous growth in sales, in revenues, in EBITDA, and decrease in loss ratios, which improved, obviously, the EBITDA. Nowadays, after we went public back in the end of 2006, 6 years later, Odontoprev has over 6 million lives, and it's the largest dental care company outside of the United States.